Welcome, everybody, to Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast. I'm your host, the journalist Sincere. That's my partner, Uncle E. And tonight we have the pleasure of speaking with Diamond the Artist. We're going to go back in time and then work our way up to 2023 and see what Diamond the Artist has going on. So before we get started and tell them everything about you going on in the future, take us back to where you were born and raised, Diamond.
I was born and raised partially raised. I was born and partially raised in Brooklyn, New York, Bushwick, Brooklyn, to be exact. And at the age of about 9 years old, 9.5, somewhere around there, I ended up moving to Brentwood, Long Island. And Long Island is, what made me who I am today. The rest of the part.
Right. Yeah. Brentwood, Long Island. Early years. Take us back to growing up in Brentwood. What was life like? What was your hobbies and interests and things of that nature?
The fun fact about me is that I started DJing when I was in Brooklyn. My older brothers got me into DJing because I was like the mistake baby. My brothers were like 10 and 9 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? So one night there had to be there was a bottle of something involved and poof, I was born, you know what I'm saying? So, but the cool thing is that with my brothers being so much older than me, when I was about 7.5 going on 8, they had bought turntables. So I think I was like 7. I was around 7. They had bought turntables and I was just amazed when I saw what these were like different. These were standalone record players. It wasn't like the big, wooden unit that mom and dad had with the one turntable that bounced in the middle. This was a whole separate mechanism. So I'm just young and I'm just excited to watch them and learn. And I, long story short, I ended up learning and actually became kind of a relevant kid DJ. My first DJ name was Baby J. And my brother, DJ Greg G from Brooklyn, and my brother, unfortunately, who's resting in peace, DJ Maniac from Brooklyn, they used to take me around to block parties, and I was the amazing kid. You know how they have all these amazing kids like DJ Sophia now, and the little twin, Samira and Kayla, and all the little. I was that kid back then. You know what I'm saying? Going to block parties, good times. I couldn't even see, but I was, and everybody was like, ooh, look at the little kid. He was crazy. So I was doing all of that, and then. Moving towards your question to zone in on that, when I moved to Long Island, unfortunately, I thought all of that was over because my brothers didn't move with me. They was like, we ain't going out there. We almost grown. They stayed out there. So now I'm an only child now in Long Island with no turntables and seemingly no hip hop because like when we moved out here, it's the suburbs. So, my neighbors, they had like ducks. Yeah, they had real ducks. Like that was a family that they used to feed the duck. It was crazy. Yeah. It was like a rooster that used to wake us up, and there was deers out here. It was a whole nother. I ain't seen none of that. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm saying I didn't know what this was, so I figured the beginning of hip hop was over for me. Funny story though. I happened to meet this amazing character one day that was walking down the street. When my brothers happened to come out and visit and they brought their set, they brought their entire set with them. So we jammed in my front yard in the driveway, and the guy that was walking by stopped. And I guess I didn't pay attention, but he was watching me DJ, because I was like excited because, they brought the turntable so I could, do my thing. And then I met the guy probably, I'd say with a week or two after that, and he said his exact words were, "Hey kid, how you learn how to DJ like that?" And I said, my brothers, they taught me." He said, "Yo, you kind of nice." Now, by the tone of my voice, you probably that was Biz Markie.
Right, dope.
I met Biz Markie between 9.5 and going on 10 years old.
Wow.
And that kind of changed the direction of my entire life because, again, I thought there was no hip hop at all. I didn't know what Long Island was. And I ended up moving up the street from the most hip hop human being on planet Earth. And that kind of like shaped what my growing up with, in Long Island was like, and as far as me being a DJ, I didn't have my own set for a while. But I think I got my very own first set when I was 13. And when I was 13, that was the start of it. I mean, within a month's time, I was doing backyard parties, barbecues, and I was, a year after that, I was doing all the school dances, what I'm saying? Like any party that was popping, I was doing. Well, it was either me or my big bro, Caleb Boss, who was also known as DJ 45. Right. We was the two hot guys in the area. So if my party wasn't rocking, his party was crazy. If his party wasn't crazy, my party was crazy. You know what I'm saying? We was just going back and forth and killing the party scene. And that's how I met a guy with green eyes who raps really well
and
produces even better than he raps by the name of Erick Sermon. Erick used to come to my parties and he would be like, "Yo, you nice, man. You nasty. Let me get on the mic. Can I get on the mic?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead. Take the mic. Let's see what happens." And he would rap at my parties and he was nasty. Like he would, like people was like, "Yo, y'all a group?" I was like, "Yeah, that's my MC." I was just freestyling. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yeah, that's my MC. You know what I'm saying? I'm the DJ, he's the MC. So that's kind of like growing up in Brentwood, you know what I'm saying? Everything kind of just happened organically. And then, later on, Erick met Parrish, and Parrish had the business knowledge of knowing how to make a record, because Parrish's older brothers, they had a deal on Tommy Boy Records. What was the name of their group? The group was called the Rock Squad, and they had a record called the Facts of Life. That was their record, and Parrish was the DJ. And on the record cover, Parrish is holding a turntable. It's crazy. So he already went through making a record and he knew how to do it. So he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring you and the DJ in the studio." I met Parrish in the studio. I never met him until we were in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Erick, was rocking with P and I was rocking with E. So E was like the middle guy to go, he was the glue. So, and then Parrish brought us into Charlie Murata's studio, genius Charlie Murata. That guy is incredible. So he brought us into Charlie's studio, and It's My Thing and You a Customer, all of You Got to Chill, Strictly Business, all of that stuff was made there. Crazy. Yep. And I was just a kid, literally 15 going on 16.
Man, what a childhood. Before we get a little bit more into the EPMD, you said Biz Markie, noticed you DJing and took a liking to you. Now, what type of relationship did you end up having with Biz Markie? Did he become some type of a mentor to you?
I had the greatest relationship in the world with him, up until he passed away. He was a constant in my life until he got sick. I never went a month without speaking to Biz. It didn't matter what part of the world I was in, what part of the world he was in, who I was on tour with. It didn't matter. We never went more than a month without speaking, like ever. And I had to think about that because it was so weird when he was sick, and then, it was COVID. No one could go but his wife. It was crazy. It was just a crazy time. I was like, yo, I've never not spoken to Biz like this. It got weird. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. But yeah. Throughout my life, he was always there. Even if he wasn't physically there, he was present and accounted for. You know what I'm saying? And even up to now, we're going to bounce around a lot because the story is crazy and it changes and it's still evolving. The story is still going. So, but one thing I'll say is, you may or may not be familiar, but I have a pretty dope show on LL Cool J's platform on Rock the Bells. Me and my partner Geechee Dan, we have a show called Planet of the Tapes. And the way me and Geechee Dan came together, we came together through the spirit of Biz. Biz, obviously, Biz was a constant in my life. And Geechee met Biz, I maybe half a decade before he passed away. And the thing that they had in common was the tapes. The thing that got me wanting to be in hip hop was Biz playing those tapes for me when I was 10, going 9, 10, 11 years old. Biz, he would go to, Uptown and rock, parties, and events, with Dougie and these guys, the Cold Crush and this and that. And he was just there for the Force MCs. He was there for all of that stuff. And Biz, I was too young. I couldn't go to those things, not the night things. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't go. Biz would come back and he would bring those tapes back and play those tapes for me. And that is what made me catch the bug. And that's what made me say, yo, I want to do that. I want to do this like for forever. Like they do this for real. Like I want to do this for real. So it was Biz playing those tapes for me that, kind of spawned me and helped me to become the person and the artist and the performer that I am today. So with me meeting Geechee and us having that bond, I didn't collect the tapes. I'm not a collector, but Geechee's a collector. But the tapes both mean so much to us. That's why our show is amazing. It's not, it's not two guys that L said, okay, I'm gonna put you with you, and then you're gonna play some tapes, and then no, this is a heartfelt, passion-driven show, and it's noticed, and the people notice, and because they're like, you can't fake this. So, and a lot of people, even LL just said it recently in an interview that it was the tapes that influenced him. Will Smith said if it wasn't for Grandmaster Caz, he might not have rapped. You know what I'm saying? So like the tapes, man, was so important to the development of the up and comers of hip hop, because Caz and the Force MCs and the L Brothers, and they didn't know what they was doing. They was rocking. Right. They didn't know the impact that this would have. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Flash did, because Flash is like a genius. He was like a nerd, super electromagnetic, from Mars. Flash, Grandmaster Flash is different. You know what I'm saying?
He's like the Magneto of hip hop.
Exactly. He just floats in. Grandmaster, you know what I'm saying? But besides Flash, I don't think anybody kind of knew what this thing, would be. So to myself and Geech, to be able to be on this amazing platform, Rock the Bells is an amazing platform. Like the way L designed it, it's dope to be able to share the feeling that I personally got when I was a kid with people in Nebraska and Montana and Utah. Like they couldn't get that. This was literally a East Coast New York thing, but now they get to live it. So we get the DMs and the inboxes and people are just like, wow, like thank you for doing this, because we know where it's at, but it's so amazing to know where it came from and how it began and how it organically grew. It's like literally a history book on radio, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, but that part came from Biz. I'm just gonna let you know.
Dope. And I'm gonna say, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I have a certain routine that I do on Sundays, right? Like as far as chores or errands and stuff. And every Sunday morning I catch that show. Now, is that the actual air date? Is Sundays the actual time, or is that just
our actual air date is Tuesdays at midnight. And we chose that time. We chose that time because that's when hip hop was. Before there was a Hot 97 and it was only the 98.7 Kiss and the BLS and whatever, hip hop only came on at midnight, late at night. And then eventually I think they started moving it up to, okay, we'll start it at 10, then it started at 9, and then they realized that it was getting popular, and then the whole station, Hot 97, changed their format from freestyle to only hip hop, which was unheard of. You know what I'm saying? But back then, hip hop was a nighttime. It was a late night thing. Stretch and Bobbito. It was a Public Enemy. A lot of people didn't know Public Enemy. Chuck D and Flav, they started on radio. What was it? WHBI, right?
I believe it was HBI. And then you also had the
same with Awesome too.
BAU.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was always like a late night thing. So we chose that time, to be our live air date. And if you listen to the show, one thing that we are heavy on is The Echo Chamber, baby. And yo, the funny thing is, like, yo, there's this, you know, I do other radio, I do FM, you know, stuff and so on and so forth. And there's program directors out there that, you know, frown upon any DJ using the echo chamber. And all I can say in the back of my mind is they're not hip hop. Yeah. Because in hip hop, the echo chamber was very relevant. Talk to Chirac about that. Chirac, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't stop. Like, that is a super important part of hip hop, and that's something that people love about our show. They're like, yeah, yo, it feels like we at the jam with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's what we trying to restore those feelings. That's what we're trying to, you know, to get across to you. We're trying to give you the feeling of the goosebumps that we get. We're trying to give you those goosebumps. So it's all, you know, it's all important. I think, you know, we all have a role. You know what I'm saying? You guys out here doing amazing work. I checked out, you know, some of your shows and some of your past interviews, and you know, and come on, man, hats off to you. I still got hair, so
thank you. Appreciate that.
Still got the flat top going. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not hiding nothing, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just with the outfit, you know what I'm saying? Throwing a hat, you know what I'm saying? You know, trying to look cool.
Thank you.
But yeah, man, you know, like I said, you know, we're all important pieces to this puzzle, you know, called hip hop culture, man. So, you know, hats off to you for real. You know what I'm saying? You guys
appreciate that so much. Means a lot.
And just once again, like I said, the show is amazing. And you guys are projecting that feeling, you know what I mean? I caught the one you guys did of the Zulu Nation anniversary.
Ooh, yeah, man,
crazy. I mean, like I said, I catch them all the time, man, and you guys always like hit me with something that I'm just like, oh, you know, you either forgot about, or yeah. So again, yeah, we try
to take up. We take pages from everybody's book. We ain't invent nothing. You know, we just reinventing the wheel. You know what I'm saying? We ain't invent nothing new. But, you know, like we take pages from people's books, and KRS-One, and Chuck D, we take pages from their books. You know, it's entertainment, but it's educational. So it's edutainment. So, you know, we always try to drop some jewels in between the laughter and the fun and everything. You know, we always try to drop some knowledge, and sometimes our knowledge is incorrect, and we want people to chime in. You know what I'm saying? Fact check us. You know what I'm saying? We're not, no one is 100% right, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, I wasn't there. I was too young to be there, but I was with people that was there, that was older than me, that told me what was going on. But if you know something that I don't, please share it. I'm not here to argue with you. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? I want to know. And then I'll fact check you and see if you're correct. You know, and if you are, great. That means I learned something else new. And that we just listen, we just want the right story. Right. That's it. Exactly. And that's what the people want. People, they just want to know the correct story. You know, say we thank all of you. Everybody needs to be thanked, but who are we thanking for what? You know what right. Pretty much. You know, that's it, man. But like I said, you know, we all in this together. We are all, excuse me for lack of a better term, journalists.
You know I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's constant, you know, education. I mean, I learn something every day. And I love to learn. I love to seek it out, you know, and I love to have artists like yourself on here to tell the story. Back a little bit, when you were rocking with Eric, did you guys have anything materialize as far as music?
When you talking about
when you and Eric, when Eric was just rocking as your MC, did you guys ever record anything before Meet and Perish?
Yeah, we recorded stuff at my house. I don't even have those tapes no more. So I'm the worst. I'll tell you right now. I suck. And Biz used to yell at me all the time for that. What's wrong with you? Why you throw everything away? Man, my whole motto is if it collects dust, I don't collect it. And once I have no use for it, it's gone. And it's terrible because there's museums that hit me up like, yo, do you happen to have like the first mixer you had before you won the battle championships? And I'm like, no, I don't have none of that stuff. I threw everything in the garbage. Everything got thrown out. Even I'm actually inducted into the Long Island Music Hall of Fame, and they just did an exhibit or whatever, a display and everything. And they were asking me like, you know, what relics do I have? And I'm like, I don't have nothing, yo. My crib is new. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't keep stuff, man. But some people keep stuff, like Chill Will, my big bro Chill Will from
Dougie Fresh.
right, from the Get Fresh crew. He got everything, yo. His house like a museum. He got like a shine, like the glass, not the old school China cabinet, but like the new modern looking glass cabinets with the lights and everything shining on the sky pages and this, and he got it. And I'm like, damn, why didn't I think to do that? I threw everything out. Everything is gone. I got my records. That's it. I got my vinyl.
Me and Sincere talk about this all the time because he's Chill Will and I'm Diamond.
Right.
I have some things, you know what I mean? But when I look back, you know what it is too, is that with social media, and I start seeing so many people like, posting stuff. I'm like, man, I used to have that. Or I had that. I didn't think either, man. Don't feel too bad. And I'm from Long Island too, so
yeah, maybe it's a Long Island thing, man. We just don't collect junk. You know what I'm saying? Man, I want to cry sometimes with some of the things I threw away. I threw away my box. When I was 15 years old, excuse me, I had a box. There was only 2 boxes to me that was really, really relevant in the world of hip hop culture. One was the loudest one, and I didn't have that one. It was the Conian with the red lights that went like this with the 2 big round speakers. I had the other one. I had the Sharp GF777, the joint with the 4 speakers on the bottom. I'm so mad that I threw that out. That thing stayed at the curb for like 4 minutes. And somebody picked that up and they was like, I can't believe this is at the curb, and it was gone. Everything that I throw out never makes it to the garbage. Somebody always takes it. So I done made some folks some money. It is what it is, man. Pay it forward. That's what it is. But yeah, I just would say I was sad.
You talked a little bit about the DJ championship. Can you take us back to what year, which DJ championship, and maybe some of the DJs that we know today that participated in that?
Okay, so I was, let's see. What one would be okay? The perfect one is the Rap Attack battles in Atlantic City. That's probably bigger than because I also won the As One battles, and I won the Apollo battles. So I'm the Apollo DJ champion. And that's how I met Lord Finesse, and me and Lord Finesse are super cool to this day. That was so dope. But let's say the Atlantic City Rap Attack battles, that was they were all dope and they were all relevant. But I think that's a little more doper because I have a successful title defense. I won, I think it was in 90, and then I defended my title and won again in 91. And I don't think no one had did that at that point. Well, actually, let's see, and this is why I like information. I believe DJ Cheese did that. I think if I'm not mistaken, and this is something that needs to be fact checked, but if I'm not mistaken, I think DJ Cheese won the New Music Seminar in 84 and 85.
84
I hope
and 85.
if anyone can verify that, I believe that happened. And no one ever talks about that, which is weird because they talk about him being the first DMC champion over in London in 86. But no one talks about 84 and 85 with the New Music Seminar. So I don't know why, but I think that's correct. So I'm definitely not the first to do it, but I'm one of the first to have a successful title defense. You know what I'm saying? Like winning is great. That's awesome. But there's a lot of luck involved with winning. Because once you get to them final, 4 DJs or whatever, everybody nice. Ain't no slouches on, you know what I'm saying? Everybody nasty. So it's really at that point kind of like who has the best day. And there's always variables involved. Your record could be a little warped, it could be dust on the needle. It could be anything that could happen. You know what I'm saying? So to win and then come back the next year and win again, that was a big deal.
Right.
And that was the year I met Cool G Rap, because Cool G Rap was there, and he was like, "Man, you incredible, son. I need you on my team." He's like, "I need you on my team," and that's how I met Cool G Rap, and I became cool with Sean and Kenny, and I ended up being the DJ for the TCF crew. I DJ for everybody, by the way. I done
Yeah.
there's so many. You'd be like, "Word, them too." I DJ for everybody, but that was how I met Sean and Kenny, because Sean and Kenny used to dance for Cool G Rap, and then they became the R&B group, the TCF crew, with Nicola and Fola, and I was the DJ for that.
Right. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, so it does say that Cheese won in 84.
Okay.
In 1984, the World Supremacy at the New Music Seminar.
Yes.
That was in 84.
What does it say about 85 though?
It says 85, 86.
Well, 86 I know was definitely Jazzy Jeff, because it came down to Jazzy Jeff and Barry B. I wasn't there for none of this, but I heard about it. So I think it was Biz who told me the play-by-play of the whole battle for 86. But
it doesn't say 85. It goes from 84, and then it jumps into some other. Then it gets into the 86. It doesn't say 85. I mean, this is just one.
Yeah, on one source.
Check a little more, but
yeah, but I would definitely. I'm curious about that, because I believe that he did win 84 and 85.
85.
Unless again, somebody could have told me the wrong information because they got it wrong. I don't know, but I'd like to verify. Either way, he's a bad mother sucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cheese, that's big bro right there. You know what I'm saying? But so the Rap Attack battles. The reason why I'm talking about that is because that was my successful title defense, and up until the mid 2000s, there weren't too many DJs that were able to do it. I think now you probably got about 10 DJs in the world that have done it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dudes like DJ Vect, DJ Fly, Rafiq. These are guys from like other countries. In America, DJ Craze. Craze is the greatest DJ to me ever. Craze is the most unbelievable battle DJ ever. Who else? There's a few others. But back then it was kind of like unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So I got lucky twice. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
I pressed the button and it happened. Hey, all right.
Now, I'm sorry. At what point, because you talked about early on, messing around with your brother's equipment and eventually getting your equipment, but at what point did you start becoming a battle DJ, or what brought the interest to you to become a battle DJ?
Perfect question, I should say. I was never interested in being a battle DJ ever. It wasn't my bag. That wasn't what I was here for. I was like the original Mel Star. I was a really, really dope, musically gifted DJ. I was a super dope party DJ that knew how to scratch. And that was it. My becoming a battle DJ came solely from the one and only DJ known originally as Richie Rich, who later on got with a group called Third Base and became Daddy Rich because of copyright. You couldn't, the name Richie Rich was a cartoon. They didn't want to get sued. But and Daddy, man, he is one of the most slept on DJs. That dude is beyond nasty. Beyond nasty. Like me and Eric done Baines talking about how nasty he is for damn near half the plane ride. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, how come nobody mentions him, Diamond? I'm like, I don't know, man, because Rich is a beast. But so it's Rich that put the battery in my back to become a battle DJ. You know what I'm saying? Because he a business brother, Diamond Shell, used to go to Farmingdale College. And he was always hit me up. He was like, yo, Jay. Jay was my regular name. So my original name was Diamond J. So, you guys know that. And it evolved eventually to Diamond the Artist. But he was like, yo, Jay, man, yo, there's this DJ up here, man. Yo, I've never seen nothing like him. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you know, because it was either me or Caleb Boss. We was like the nicest in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was trying to see us. And I'm like, how nasty can someone be? I was like, I don't understand what you do. Mind you, I've never seen a battle. I've heard of them, but I've never seen one. So I guess I never saw a real battle DJ. You know what I'm saying? And when I went up to Farmingdale College and I saw what this guy was doing in his dorm room, I was like, yo, I gotta step my shit up. I was like, yo, this dude is, but how many arms does he have? It was crazy. So yeah. But so you know, he immediately took me under his wing. He befriended me. You know, we're still friends to this day. You know what I'm saying? Great guy. You know, he's living out in Arizona. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. It was funny because he would always say to me, he was like, yo, you're one of the dopest DJs I've ever seen. And I'm looking at him like he got 3 heads. I'm like, what are you saying to me? Don't you look in the mirror at how you are? But he was like, he's like, yo, he said, you have more raw skill than I've seen in any DJ that I've met so far. He said, there's just things that you don't do correctly because I was self-taught. You know what I'm saying? Like when my brothers would go to work and go to school, I climb up on my little crates and turn on the equipment. I knew how to turn it on, and I would just go. And eventually I became good enough for them to show me off. But they weren't taught. Like, it's like tennis. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to hold a racket a certain way. There's, golf, you got to swing a certain way. There's hand positions and things of that nature that I knew nothing about. So he was like, he coached me. So he was like, yo, if you can take your hand and move it to this, whatever, 9 o'clock position or that, but you know what I'm saying? He was just showing me little things. And then he said, when you go back and forth, he said, you move like this. You don't have to move like that. Just use your arms and you'll be even faster. He said, you're as fast as me now running back and forth like this. So when he taught me these things, it brought me to a whole nother level. He said, he's like, yo, you already got the skill. He said, now you just need to learn the technique. And, he blessed me with the technique. And then, the rest is history. I became a multi-champion battle DJ who's now a member of the X-Men and also known as the Executioners.
Dope.
My family.
When did that happen?
That happened at the US DMC finals.
Okay.
That happened because I went up against amazing DJs. Battle Cat was one of them. Salute to him. Me and him are friends to this day. There was a Plastic Man. I just called Plastic Man the other day. He was in it. Miz was in it. Miz had already won the seminar. Miz was in it. Who else? I can't remember, but most notably Steve D, my partner. Okay. Steve D, the pioneer of the beat juggle. You know what I'm saying? Which he's hats off to him. He's amazing. This is like beyond amazing. The way the guy thinks, he thinks like a whole different human being. I think he was the original AI technology, if I'm not mistaken. I can't verify that, but it was crazy. So at the battle, when everything was said and done, out of all the DJs there, he came up to me and said, yo, I'm starting this crew called the X-Men. Would you like to be down? I'd love to have you. I was like, all right. I've never been in a DJ crew. Sure. Let's do it. Right there, I became, a member of the X-Men. There was only 4 of us at the time. It was myself, Steve D, Sean C, who you might know from, Sean C and LV, the production team, and my little bro, may he rest in peace, Grandmaster Rock Raider.
Wow.
So,
Yep. So I actually, to this day, I feel honored because there was 10 DJs that made the finals. Yeah. And he only had me. You know what I'm saying? So that was a pretty honorable thing right there.
Now, were you along with the X-Men as the others started to come in as well, like the Rob Swift,
Rob and Joey? All of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, again, my life is so crazy. You don't really see me on any of the exercise videos and all of that because at that time I got picked up by Prince. So I was gone. I was living in Minnesota, you know, at Paisley Park every day, so I couldn't participate. That's why there's a lot of people like, yeah, you know, I remember when you used to be. I'm like, oh, what do you mean used to be? It was I am always an X-Men or executioner. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
Right.
you know, you don't stop being one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, but I never saw you on the videos. I was like, I was doing other stuff, you know. So, but yeah, that's the crew. That's the family, always for life. Yep.
EPMD's album Strictly Business turns 35 this year. What do you remember most about those studio sessions?
I remember most the thing that I thought we created. I thought we were the first to do, and again, I love knowledge because I recently found out that we were not the first to do this. And the funny thing is, like a funky ass band was the first to do what I'm about to explain to you. Making It's My Thing. The beat, 7 minutes of funk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I DJ'd that record live. I literally, there was 2 turntables in the mixer in the studio, and I was just I was going back and forth with the record probably for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever it was. And Charlie Murata, the engineer, then he told me to stop. That's why if you're a DJ and you do a long mix with that record, you got to learn how to ride the fader, because I'm mixing that record live, and I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. It may sound perfect to the untrained ear, but you know, we're humans. It's never going to be synchronized like a metronome or whatever. You know, you get as close as you can get, but you got to know how to ride that pitch. You know what I'm saying? In order to make the mix work. So I DJ'd the record live from maybe it was a minute and a half that he stopped me. So he stopped me, and I said, well, you know, I think they want to rhyme longer than this. He was like, nah, don't worry about it. I got an idea. So what Charlie did was he taped me on the small tape. I think it was like a 1/2-inch tape, like a mastering tape or something like that. He recorded me DJing the record back and forth. And then what he did was he created a tape loop. But in order to loop it, he had to loop the tape around the studio. So literally the tape left the machine, and it would go around the back of chairs. It would go around mic stands, positioned, you know, boom, boom, boom. It would go around the corner post. There was a pole. It went around the pole, and it went right back into the machine. So he created a 6-minute rendition of what I did off of that tape loop, just going around the room. I thought that was the most ingenious thing ever. It still is the most ingenious thing ever.
Yeah, that sounds wild.
Right. And I thought, I've been telling this story forever. Like, there was nobody else that did it. We were the first to do this. Again, I love information. I recently just got some information that this was done already, and it wasn't done in hip hop. It was done, and it makes sense now that I listen to their music, and I'm like, why is their music so funky, and why is it always so in the pocket? This was done by KC and the Sunshine Band. They would take, and if you listen to them, they funky. They music is a different type of funk. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, you know, I work with all types of musicians, and musicians is like, yeah, KC different, man. They have a whole nother type of pocket. I get it. They would find that they you know what? I'll say this. They were original hip hop. Because what they would do was they would jam out, and they would find that one section that, oh man, that's crazy. Why don't we make the whole record sound like this? And they did it. They created tape loops. They would loop themselves. They would loop one section of the drum that just hit the hardest, and the pocket was just right there. And they would then they would jam again around that and build around that. They sampled themselves, yo.
Nice.
Genius. Right. Now, you'll never listen to KC and the Sunshine Band again the same. I guarantee.
I'm going to go listen to it after this just to check it out.
Think about the that's the way, that beat, that you know what I'm saying? That beat, what? Come on, man. They sampled themselves. That's why all them records was so funky. Wow. Genius. Right. Genius. Yep. And then later on, other entities started doing the same thing as well. It was crazy. I'm sorry.
So overall, what was your best memories of watching Erick and Parrish create that album?
I don't know, man. It was just, I mean, I can't really tell you because we was kids. I was a kid. I'm a little younger than them. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, wow, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? I was really just trying to learn this other equipment that I was seeing. Like I didn't know what I'm in front of a board now. I had a little mixer, like a DJ mixer. This is a whole board. And it ain't even a big board compared to the ones that's in my studio, you know what I'm saying? But now, but back then it was like, wow, look at this. All of these, I was trying to learn the faders. I was trying to learn what the EQ did and then the effects. He had reverbs and echoes going. I'm like, yo, what is this? I didn't have none of this stuff. I got. You know what I'm saying? That's why I play with it so much because I'm like, I got it now. But this stuff was amazing to me. So I was locked in, man. I was just locked in on the gear and what Charlie was doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think I mix music so good today because I'm just even like my time with Prince and Paisley Park. I was just sitting. I was a sponge, man. I was just learning, and it was a whole different thing. It was like Prince was doing music that. Well, see, the thing is, I think the thing that made it kind of cool was I was not a Prince super fan. I have friends that are super fans. You know what I'm saying? I was not a super fan. I have friends that like 98% of everything that Prince has ever done. I liked about 10% of it. I'm just a hip hop dude. So some of the stuff was too far fetched for me, but his musicianship was something that I was like, yo, I got to learn this stuff because even if I'm not feeling the music, his creative process was unreal. It was unbelievable. So I locked in with him on that heavy.
I'm sorry, one more question. Did the reason you left the group and Kayla Boss came in there, what was how did that happen?
Age. I was just too young. EPMD blew up overnight. Like literally, we did the demo and the record, they got the deal. The record was on the radio 2 weeks after they got the deal. 4 weeks after that, it was pandemonium. Like the shows was coming in and I did all the early shows with them, like the Latin Quarters and the Red Parrots and the Union Square. I did all of that stuff with them. But what people don't know is Sleeping Bag Records, aka Fresh Records, was a London-based label. When EPMD blew up like that, they were already in the works of developing an entire European tour. I wasn't 18. I couldn't go. And even if my parents let me go, which they never would have let me go, but even if, God rest their souls, but if they would have let me go, Sleeping Bag would have had to pay for a separate chaperone for me. And it was too much. It was no budget for that. So Kayla Boss, he's a little older than me. So, we was like, all right, well, if Diamond can't go, let's call Kay. And like I said, Kay was nasty too. So boom. So he was right there. And he ended up doing the cuts on You Gots to Chill, you know what I'm saying? And it worked out. It's still and that's my guy. Like literally we be on the phone right after this interview. You know what I'm saying? Like
Gotcha.
Family. That's big bro. You know what I'm saying? So it all worked out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then when EPMD came back, Erick had wanted me to be back, with the group. But by then I was already rocking with Prince and then, life was just moving in another direction. So yeah, it's crazy. And then when I was done with Prince, Erick and Parrish had broke up. And I ran into Erick at a record shop called Paradise Records. And Erick was like, yo, Diamond, yo, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yo, how you doing? You good? He was like, yeah, yo, I was with Prince. I was like, yo, it's crazy, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yo, I'm putting out my solo record. It's done. I'm getting ready to shoot my first video. He was like, yo, why'd you be my DJ? Come on tour with me. That was when I got my first solo record deal as an MC. And I just got the check, the advance money. And I was assigned the deal and everything. And I was obligated to produce an album. So I couldn't tour with him. But I was probably going to be the tour DJ for the whole hitting switches and all of that stuff. but it didn't work out at that time. But it worked out now because I'm back with EPMD for the past 8 years, so it all worked out.
It's been 8 years already. Wow. Okay.
God's plan, not what I'm saying. We have our plans. God laughs at them. God's plan. It happens when it happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Word,
so
word.
I have to ask you this. Now you mentioned Prince. So first of all, how did you get picked up by Prince? And my second question is, as a DJ going, I guess tours or shows with Prince, how was that incorporated into his shows as far as having a DJ?
Well, okay. Well, to answer your first question, it was definitely a selection process. But as always, I got to shout out my brother, DJ Master T, because Master T is the one who actually, Master T, he DJ for MC Light. He produced Tupac's biggest record ever. He produced Dear Mama and, worked with Janet, everybody else. But T is the one who told me the fact that Prince, was looking for a DJ, and it was a crazy situation. I had 24 hours to get a tape done, a videotape. Now, a videotape back then, nobody had a camera. Mm-hmm. This was like unheard of. But I had 24 hours to get a tape. No, it wasn't 24 hours. It was less than 24 hours. I think it was like I had 16 hours or something like that. It was something bananas. And again, I lived in Long Island. So the guy that was going to get the tape to Prince, there was an audition tape, was in town, and he was at a hotel in the city. So I had to get everything done and get to the city and get it to him. I think I got him the tape. This was a VCR tape. I got him the VCR tape probably like 45 minutes before he was getting in his car to get to the airport. So yeah, it was crazy. So I had to do the tape, and they already seen, tapes of other DJs, and they had one DJ that they had already kind of picked, you know what I'm saying? But, Tony was like, nah, he was like, we, between me and you, I don't want to get your hopes up, but we got somebody, this is really dope dude, you know what I'm saying? But I know you went through a lot, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure I get the tape, to P, and, we're gonna check it out. So, and the dude that they had in mind was super dope. I don't know if you ever heard of King IXL, but he's from Minneapolis. He's a battle champion. He's dope, super dope. So I don't, at the end of the day, I don't even think it was a skill for skill thing, because if we battled, you probably couldn't even pick a winner because we both do what we do. But I think with me, it was because, my crew, the whole X-Men thing, like we focused on the funk and the musicality a little bit more. I think my style fit Prince's agenda more. Okay. So I think that's why I ended up getting the gig over IXL, because he nasty though. You know what I'm saying? And it's still my man to this day. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the gig happened. And then as far as your second question, what was the second question again?
Oh, I was just wondering, like, as far as, if it was a show or tour, what was the chemistry, how did the DJ part play into the band and everything?
Got you. Well, that was it. I was part of the band. My instrument was the turntable. So yeah, so that was it. I was the DJ in the band. My job was to scratch, and I scratched on a plethora of Prince records, like tons of them. And I was on stage, scratching. That was it. So if you saw the stage that we had, it was 2 ramps on the side that went up. So you could run up the stage and then meet in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like run up and meet them. I was the guy in the middle, up on the riser, up above everybody. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Man, that's some super bragging rights. I don't think.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
but the real question behind all this Prince talk is: were you on stage performing when Prince had on those pants that he was showing his butt?
Yo,
that means that you had the.
Nah, I'm glad
you had that view the whole time.
Yo, my man, I am glad that you asked that question. For clarification, I never got the moon shot. Okay. I never got the moon. I never got the moon. So yeah.
All right.
Those are some scary. Crazy.
So what happened with your time with Prince?
It was just dope, man. I learned so much from him. He became like a big bro, like a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like just in life. Again, I was a young kid and I was wilding. I was wilding. I'm surprised he kept me around as long as he did. It was crazy, but it was good times though, man. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot because that was, although I had been involved in making a record. And I had already produced my own records too. I produced Craig Mack's first record. I don't know if you guys know that. Before, but may he rest in peace. Before, it's coming up on his anniversary. March 12th, he passed away. His first record before Flavor in Your Ear, before Bad Boy, I produced it. It was called Get Retarded, and that's what got him the deal on Sleeping Bag Records when his group went by MCEs and DJ Troop. Troop was his DJ. I was the producer for the record. Wow. I don't know if you ever heard it. The record went zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah. That's me on the record going zoom, zoom. That's my voice.
Oh,
yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yep. And apparently,
fun facts every day.
Yeah. But apparently, I just caught wind that Dr. Dre sampled it. Ooh. He did a record, I think, with L. I got to talk to L. I think he did a record with LL called
on the soundtrack. It was on the soundtrack.
A movie soundtrack, and I never heard it before. But they said it's dope. I was like, I'm sure if Dre and L, that's a combination you can't beat that with a baseball bat. Hoo-ha!
Yo, man, man, we could be here all day because you also DJ for Beyonce, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yep. Man, like what?
I'm also the TV show. MTV's Making the Band. I'm part of the original Ratchet TV ever. the first
cheesecake crew.
Yeah. Walking for the cheesecake.
Every
every day I was hanging out with all 5 Dylons. You know how to get that in there. That's my man. That's my fan. Oh. When Dave Chappelle did that skit, man, oh my God. My God.
And the artist.
It was crazy.
Oh, 5 Dylons. That guy made a name for himself, though.
He did. He definitely did, man. Definitely did, man. It was a crazy time, though. Yeah, I've done a couple of things.
Not too much. Nothing crazy.
Crazy.
You got into acting at one point?
Yeah. I had a national commercial. It was funny because I didn't even drink at the time. I was the Red Bull guy, not the energy drink, but the beer guy. So I had a national commercial. It was and I was. They dressed me up like I was a LA, dude. I had the chucks on, I had the plaid, I had the shades, you know what I'm saying? And I had the Scully with the shades on and everything. And I'm riding on it was a 6'4" Chevy. I'm sitting on top of it while the hydraulics is going, and I got the beer in my hand, and I stop this hydraulics and I say, "Hey, you can ride the bull, but don't ride with him." It was a not drinking and driving commercial, and that's exactly how I said it. And they were like, "Oh, like you're amazing, you're perfect." I was like, "All right, cool, thanks. I just did what you told me to do, but hey, I appreciate it." But the cool thing was, again, I didn't know the game, man. I'm young and I'm just doing stuff because it's fun to me. The director of that commercial said, "Hey, man, we're just gonna go ahead and give you all of your waivers." I didn't know what waivers were. But apparently you have to get 3 waivers, like I guess do like 3 major roles, speaking roles, whatever the case may be, before you can join SAG. And he gave them all to me all for the one joint. And that was like, I wish I could see this guy again, man. That was like, people just don't do things like that. That was an amazing, you know what I'm saying? That was a very kind, gracious gesture that this guy did, so. And since then I haven't done too much acting because I'm so busy with the music end and the touring end, but acting is actually a passion of mine, which I'm shifting towards now. I have some things on the table I can't talk about. You know, I didn't sign some NDAs, but there's some things coming up. So I'd be on the lookout for me, my children, me.
So that's great. Let me I mean, obviously you love everything that you do, right? But
absolutely, I am the hardest working person that's never been to work a day in his life. Remember that.
What do you enjoy the most? DJing for other artists, you know, the shows, the tours, you know, what part of everything that you do you enjoy the most? If you had to choose one.
Family.
Okay.
Family is what I enjoy the most. I'm just keeping it 100,000,000% real.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying? Because without family, I wouldn't be nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line. As far as everything else, I would still say being on them turntables.
Okay.
That's just that's like BB King, you know, with Lucille.
Mm-hmm.
When he start plucking that guitar, no, don't baby, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like Miles with a horn, or you know what I'm saying? Like you just, you know what I'm saying? It's just you. I get that feeling, but it all feels great to me. Like I do so much work and never touch a turntable. You know, like I host shows, like, you know, like this is I Love the 90s tour where I'm hosting in front of 20,000 people a night. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to DJ. I'm the host for hours. You know, I have to entertain you with just me, and I love that too. You know, it's great. It's very personable with the people, and you know, and just but once I get on them turntables, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm this guy. You know what I'm saying? And then I just turn into something else. So I think the most enjoyable is always going to be rocking on the turntables. And I told people from the beginning of time, I'm gonna DJ till my fingers don't work anymore. That's when I'll stop DJing, because people are like, man, ain't you ever gonna retire? I'm like, when my fingers retire, I'll retire.
Right.
As long as my fingers do this, and I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm still good.
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah, man, I love it, man.
That's good. That's good. Very dope.
So you reunited with EPMD for the past 8 years. You got Rock the Bells currently. What else can we expect from Diamond the Artist in the future?
Oh yeah, you can expect a solo project from Diamond the Artist, which I'm going to start working on very soon. I got a lot of things to say. I got a lot to get off of my chest. I dropped a record like 5 years ago. I didn't officially drop it. You can't find it on Spotify or none of the DSPs. I did a record called Respect the DJ. And I just did it out of it. It was something I had to get off of my chest, and I did it from the heart, and I really did it for the culture. Because like I said, I didn't do it to make money. I didn't put it on any platform. I just made the record because it was the whole state of the DJ. It just got disgusting. It was, you know, when you got Paris Hilton making $100,000 a night to act like she's DJ, it was bad. You know what I'm saying? It was just really, really bad. And then it became like a novelty. And then a lot of the artists, you know, they're like, all right, well, my shows aren't over. Rapping career, you know, okay, I'll just be a DJ. I just got to get music from my man and just teach me what buttons to press, or he just make a mix for me, and I'm gonna just stand by. You know what I'm saying? And it was just getting real bad. So when I made that record, Respect the DJ, you know, I told people, I was like, yo, I got bars. I had 3 major record deals. I got a ridiculous amount of advance money from all of them. Like, they wouldn't sign me if I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, just listen to what I'm saying on the record. Yeah, I produced it and did all the scratches too, because I'm a one-man army. But I'm like, yeah, just listen to the words. Listen to what I'm saying on this record, because everybody's fingers was going. Facebook, like, yo, man, this DJ thing is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Money, the mob, this, and, you know, the Paris Hiltons of the world, and everybody's fake, and this, and the Twitter fingers was going, the Facebook fingers was going, and the fingers, they was going. And I'm like, well, what is anybody doing? We fingering. Hard body, you know, we thugging it out online, but what's anybody doing about it? You know, so I was like, well, I don't even know what I could do about it, but I'm gonna do something more than posting a comment. So I made the record Respect the DJ, and it got well received. I was, you know, a little overwhelmed because I was like, I didn't do it for that. But you know, everybody's like, yo, it's like, yo, you should like really do like a whole project. But here's the thing. Let me put out the disclaimer before we get out of here and this interview is over. If you listen to Respect the DJ, don't expect my album to sound nothing like it, because I'm the type of I'm an actual artist, and there's tons of artists out there, but we don't really get to see the artistry because of the medium that really destroyed the foundation of hip hop, which is the record label. Labels are the worst things that ever happened to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not hip hop, they're numbers, and that's it. All I care about is numbers. So, you know, with the labels basically, you know, discombobulating the hip hop family unit. You know what I'm saying? You know, labels are the reasons why DJs became unimportant. It was the labels that convinced the rappers that, oh no, only you need to sign a contract. Well, you can, you know, that's your friend. You could, you know, pay him for the shows or whatever. They got the DJ out the group immediately. Once they knew they could separate that, it was over. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole premise of the hip hop culture changed. Because remember, you know, we all know the start. It was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. It was Cash Money and Marvelous, Jeff and the Fresh Prince. It was Eric B and Rakim, Coogee Rap and Polo. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that no more.
Yeah.
Where they do that at? You don't see that no more. You know what I'm saying? So it was the labels that ended that, because the labels are like, we only got to pay one person. We don't got to pay two mechanicals. We don't got to pay two publishers. You know what I'm saying? And we keep the lion's share. So now, you know, that's really what it was. So the labels at one point, they really didn't want groups. They would do a group here and there, but they were focusing on solo acts because they could keep more money. You know what I'm saying? It was just a bigger pie for them. Because remember, a record deal is the worst loan you'll ever take. It's like a 97% interest rate loan. You know what I'm saying? It's the worst loan ever. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's just a bank loan from a non-bank, you know, and they're not regulated. So they can do whatever they want, basically.
Right.
Yeah. So I say all that to say that most true artists are like me. I make music how I wake up. If I wake up tomorrow morning feeling horny, I am going to make the most sexual record you may have ever heard in your life. If I wake up the next day just feeling thankful and thanking the Lord just for being here, I'm going to make a record about God. That don't make me a Christian rapper. That just makes me say, yo, I want to give some thanks. This is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? If I'm feeling a little thugged out, I might make a little thugged out record. But the thing is, with a label, you might make all of this stuff, but they throw something up on the wall that sticks. They come back and say, hey, we need 5 more of these fast, because this is what's pulling in the numbers. And then you start losing the artist. You know what I'm saying? So most of the artists that you see, they never really get to be artists. Jay-Z got to be an artist, because when he came into the game, he came in as an owner. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the first things I learned from Prince was ownership. You know what I mean? And then look at Jay-Z's catalog. He's definitely not a Drake, doesn't sing and do all that stuff, but he goes kind of all across the board. He makes enough to know what is going to move units for him, right? But he still splashes you know, here and there with other stuff. This is why he could do an entire B-sides tour and never do one hit record and still sell out the Garden. And you know what I mean? Like, because he gives you a little bit of everything, because he could. And there's a lot of artists that can't do a lot of stuff because their hands are tied. Rest in peace to Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg told us, he said, I went to Interscope with a 100% conscious album, and they said, we can't sell this shit. Come back when you got some gangster shit. It's like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And this was after Nate Dogg was Nate Dogg. He was already Nate Dogg. He wasn't like coming up. He was the hook guy. Everybody grabbed him. And they was like, nah, we can't. Come on, man. Stop playing, Nate. Come back with some gangster shit. As soon as this murder, death, kill, genocide, we got you all day. But again, it's the label thing. So again, I say all that to say we are back in the Motown days now. It's the age of independence, even though the DSPs ain't paying nobody nothing. And I don't know how long that's going to last. We're going to have to figure out a whole nother way. But, I'm going to drop a project, and the name of the project is called JMS, Just My Songs.
Nice.
Nope.
My goal, it's a funny thing, two songs. I got Respect the DJ. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I don't know if you ever heard it to say, but if you listen to it, and then I did another song called Go Bananas. Go Bananas is like a fast, like 135 beat per minute, shake your ass, dance floor, Fat Man Scoop meets LMFAO type record. And Respect the DJ is some straight underground boom bap. Sounds like I made the record in 1992 when I made it in 2017, but you know what I'm saying? Sounds like I made it in 92, gritty boom bap, you know what I'm saying? Bars and everything. If you close your eyes and I didn't just tell you this, there's no way you would think the same human being made both of these songs. I guarantee you would never in a million years, if you didn't know, if I didn't just tell you this, I wish I had the hard drive hooked up. I should have played both of them for you. You'd been like, yo, you made both of it. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So that's how musically diverse I am. And think about it. Work with Prince, work with Beyonce, work with Diddy, work with Wu-Tang, work with Gravediggers, work with EPMD, work with TCF crew. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the most grittiest to the most poppiest to the most loving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, the only one I didn't DJ for is Kirk Franklin. Pretty much, so of course I'm gonna make, and I was always an open format DJ. It's a thing now, like, yo, I'm open format. I'm like, dude, I was open format when you was born. Came in that way, but I didn't invent nothing new because the great DJs that came before me, the Africa Islam, Bambatas, what I'm saying, the Hercs, all
open format.
All open format. They played rock records. They played reggae records. They played Latin records. They played
commercials and theme songs.
Exactly. As long as it had a breakbeat somewhere, they was playing it. If it was funky, it played. So I've always been that way. You know what I'm saying? God rest the dead to Adam, the DJ AM. I was doing mashups before he even knew what a mashup was. Because I wasn't just on tour doing the shows with Prince. I was doing the after parties and stuff. So, and at the after parties, of course, George Michael's here, Bono was here, Madonna's here, this one's there. You know what I'm saying? All of these other people was here, and I'm like, well, they like hip hop, but this ain't really a hip hop thing. So I gotta kind of change up my thing. So I started throwing on some of them other records and stuff, mixing with the hip hop and everything, and they loved it. They was loving what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you kind of gotta adapt to your situation or whatever. So again, anybody that wants to take a listen, take a shot to see, if this Diamond guy got something, understand that you may love something that I do, and you might not get another one of them. You know what I'm saying? Right. My goal is if you love something I do, I won. You could dislike everything else, but if you love one thing that I do, I touched you. That's it. I did my job. So we'll see. JMS, Just My Songs. It's your boy Diamond Artist, man.
Well, definitely let us know when that drops.
I will. Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, my brother. Word. So Uncle E, man, you guys are awesome. I'm so glad that you had me on here so I could tell the world a little bit of my story. But my story is it's ongoing, man. So I'd like to come back one day.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
for sure. Now, so we wanted to ask you some hip hop related questions, being that hip hop is turning 50, but I know we've got a lot of time. If you could just at least answer this one question. Hip hop is getting ready to turn 50 soon this year. We just want to know your thoughts and takes on seeing hip hop becoming 50 years old.
Man, I'm just glad that I'm in it. You know, I'm glad that people like Grand Wizard Theodore know my name and comment on my post. I'm super glad that guys like Red Alert call me to see how I'm doing. I'm like, man, you know, this Uncle Red just calling me to, Diamond, are you good? You everything? How's the fam? I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so thankful to be in this, because when I was little, I wanted this badly. I wanted it badly, and it was really, like I said, the introduction came from my brothers, but they weren't in it like that. You know, these turntables was something that you got because your man up the street got some, and you know, it's what you did. You know, and they went on to, you know, end up having, they both became police officers. My brother, Greg, DJ Greg G, he was a federal officer who recently retired. And my other brother, DJ Maniac, who's resting in peace, he was a NYPD. So, you know, they went on to do their thing. You know, but me, this was, man, I wanted this. I didn't want to do nothing else. And then, you know, that's when God said, all right, buckle up for safety, because I'm going to bring this. I don't know what he is, but I'm gonna bring him to you. And you figure him out. Yeah, Biz Markie, meet Diamond. Diamond, meet Biz Markie. And then that was it. And then from there on, I was like, because Biz was already a star, but he didn't have records out. But he was just a star. He would come up to the school and disrupt the whole school. Like the whole school would run out to him while he was beatboxing and rapping. The teachers banned him from coming up to the school because he was a star everywhere he went. And this was before any record ever came out. So of course he became a star when the records came out, and you know what I mean? But I saw this happening. And I don't think it wasn't even, I never wanted to be a star. I'm not a star. I'm not a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not famous. You know, famous is you can't walk down the street. I can walk down any street. Most people, some people might once in a while recognize me, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of float like under the radar. My life is cool because I live the lifestyle of the rich and famous without being super rich or famous. You know what I'm saying? So I can still do regular stuff, but I get to, you know, still, you know, lifestyle Diamond performing on the boat in Rio de Janeiro, and, you know, the grand prize on the phone with the Hawaiian thing and the drink with the little, you know what I'm saying? So I get to do all of that, you know what I'm saying? But I float under the radar. So, and I was never, the goal was never to be popular. I just wanted to do hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Of course, rap is something you do, DJ is something you do, hip hop is something you live. I just wanted to do it inside of hip hop. And even to this day, if I put a record out and it becomes super crazy, I wouldn't even understand fame and nothing like that. I don't need that. I need this. You know what I'm saying? I need you guys. I need, you know what I'm saying? I need this, the energy
right
that hip hop brings. So for me to just be in it and see it to 50, I'd love to see it to 100 if I can. You know what I'm saying? And if not, you know, I hope my children's children, I hope hip hop never stops. You know what I'm saying? I just hope it just continues. And if people, you know, somehow know if my name makes it into the history books, awesome. You know what I'm saying? Hope then I've done something relevant. And until then, I'm gonna just keep trying. This is hip hop.
Doing a very well job, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My best. One time for hip hop music, baby. For the culture, man. For the culture.
You know, on behalf of myself and the journalist Sincere, we like to thank you for taking the time. We know you're a busy man, so we appreciate it. We don't take this for granted at all. And also thank you for all of your contributions, past, present, and future. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's been such an honor and a pleasure. Thank you
appreciate
so much.
You guys. Definitely appreciate you guys.
So can you shout out your social media before we get out of here, also, just to let people know where they can keep up with you?
Yes, it's actually on the screen. It's at DTA Experience. DTA stands for Diamond the Artist. All of my social media, every platform that exists, is at DTA Experience. I keep it real easy for you guys. And you know, if you're not following me, you're fucking up. You need to fix that. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I mean, you can click on the page, see what I do. You know, if you want to hang out. If not, you know, just come visit every once in a while and, you know, keep up with your boy, because I do a lot of things. Like I keep it moving. I definitely keep it moving, and I try to keep it funky. I try. See?
Absolutely. I appreciate everything you've done.
And from one Long Islander to another, man.
Yes, sir. Salute. God bless, brothers, man. I love what you do. Keep doing what you do. And when I got the music ready, I'll be back. Definitely.
Okay.
Please.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Thank you.
Blessings, guys. Peace.
Peace.